Hello, welcome back, second graders. Let's hop right into CGI today. Today is about a farmer, and they actually are picking cherries. So let's hop into it. So this is what cherry picking apparently looks like. I've never been, and I thought I wanted to look up some pictures to see what it's like. And they're picking cherries today. So today is about a farmer. A farmer picks 167 cherries off a cherry tree. He picks 39 more than his son. Now, how many cherries did the farmer's son pick? So you already know how many the farmer has, so now you need to figure out how many the farmer's son picked. So we're going to hop into the retelling. So right now, if you need a couple minutes to look at the problem, this is the time to pause. If not, we're going to hop right into the actual retelling. Again, it does not need to be word for word. You're trying to retell it just like we do in the classroom. Nice firm voice, standing up if you can, if not sitting up straight at your seat. Like you're doing it to an audience because you don't want to whisper it because people can't hear you. Alright, so we're going to cover the problem right now and you're going to retell. So whenever you're ready, pause the video. Great, I hope you did really well. If you need another shot, pause it and try it again. If not, let's keep going. So we're going to go through it like our 3-read. We're going to read it, and we're going to go over some things, like read the problem. A farmer picked 167 cherries off the cherry tree. He picked 39 more than his son. How many cherries did the farmer's son pick? Now I want you to pause it and reread it to yourself. Alright, great job. Now let's keep going and let's look at finally the information that it gives us. A farmer picked 167 cherries off the cherry tree. That's the first sentence, and I believe the most important part of that is that the farmer picked 167 cherries because it tells you how many he picked. Second thing we need to know is that he picked 39 more than his son. So you need to keep that in mind. You need to think about what the problem is telling you. What is it asking you to do? Well, the really important word here that tells you is the word more than. But you also need to think about who and where and who picked more than who. So if he, who is he? They're talking obviously about the farmer in the sentence before. The farmer picked 39 more than his son. And you already know how many the farmer picked, so you should be thinking about what should I do with those two numbers? Now, what is this story asking you to find? Well, it's asking you to find the question. What is the question? It is, how many cherries did the farmer's son pick? It's the one with the question mark at the end. Now, this is your more or less than question. So, right now, quickly think, and your problem is, did the son pick more or less than 167 cherries? More is thumbs up, less is thumbs down. And they want to know, did he pick more than 167 or less than 167? And think about it, it's the son. They are talking about the son. So right now I want you to pause the video and tell me why. If you're not sure how to tell me, I want you to try to write it down on that CGI page. Okay, I love your explanation, but now we need to go through a couple different things before I send you off to solve. Like, think of the information you know. First information we knew was a farmer picked 167 cherries. So I'm going to draw that down there for you. The farmer picked 167 cherries. The next part of information we know is he picked 39 more than his son. But how do we draw that? So I actually am putting a bracket right below, and it's showing that he picked 39 more than his son. And then I'm going to show you, now we need to find out what the farmer's son actually picked. We can show that by this block right here. So if you look at it right now, it looks like a part-whole model. So what do you have to do to those two numbers to find out the son? We're going to move on to this page, and this is showing you all the different methods we used yesterday. If you received the packet, it should be page 12 today. And that's the page we'll be doing your problem on. Make sure the problem says the correct problem. And that was the farmer and the cherries. I have the Diesel and Daisy problem up here from yesterday because we have a very similar problem. These are the 3 different ways I used to solve it yesterday. So today I want you to pick your first way using the correct numbers of the farmer and his son and how many more he picked. If you can do a vertical way, try the vertical way. And the third way, you can leave blank until after you've seen mine. And if there's one that you liked better than what you've done, or if there's a third way that you're like, oh, I can try that next time, I want you to write it down. Make sure to fill in your number sentence and answer and your word sentence. And also try to write down the steps that you would explain your first or vertical way. The first thing I did is, just like how I show you when I'm doing my videos in a little bit. Alright. So right now, get solving, and I'll see you in a little bit.
The first way would be a drawing way. And this one is about a farmer who picked 167 cherries. And this is the farmer. And he actually picked more than his son. So I'm just gonna write how many more. He picked 39 more than his son. We actually don't know how much his son picked. So we're looking for this right here. And similar to yesterday, if you look at it, this is a hole. And these are the parts. And between the 2 circles down here, the parts you add, and then for the hole you subtract. You look at this, you have these 2 parts, which would mean that we are subtracting like this today. The first method I would use is a drawing method, similar to yesterday's. Start with my hundreds, tens, and ones chart of 167. I like to write my numbers. And then we're taking away 39. You're going to draw the bigger number on top, 100, a box. 6 tens would be lines. There are 10 blocks. And 7 circles, or squares. Again, I put them into rows of 5, so it's easier to count. Now we have to cross off 9, but we don't have 9 here. So I'm going to cross off one of these, bring it all the way over. And I put this arrow here to show you going, hey, this I took to put here, because I still need to cross out 3 more here. So right now I took a whole 10, so now that is 10 here. Gonna cross off 9. I know that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now I'm going to count how many circles I have left. You can't forget the top. There's 7, so I have 8 circles left here. Now I need to cross off 3 more for this. 2, 3. And I have 2 left. So that's 2 here and 100. There's nothing wrong with it. So my answer came out to 128. My second way here is just going to be a simple vertical way. So we already figured out this was our number sentence. So I'm just going to put my bigger number on top, make sure my smaller number goes on the bottom. If you're one of my scholars that have a hard time keeping your numbers in track, make sure you're doing lines between. And make sure that 9 is lining up with your 7 because these are both 1s, and your 3 is lining up with your 6 because those are both 10s. I already know that 9 is my bigger number, so you can't take away 7 minus 9. So this is going to become a 5. This becomes a 17. 17 minus 9 is 8. 5 minus 3, you can do that because 5 is bigger than 3, so 5 minus 3 is 2. And 1, I got 128. Let me check over here. I'm going to cover it up and do it again anyway. So that's my bigger number. That's a 5. That's a 1. 18. If you're not sure, draw it. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 10. 15, 17, take away 9. Count what you have left. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. 5 minus 3, you have 2 and 1. The third way would be to split up by number bond first. So I'm going to take my smaller number, split it up. So split into tens and ones, and then you can start using the think subtraction way, which is just where you put your numbers like this, and then you start taking away chunks to make it easier for you. Well, I can do this, and that will be 7. And I know I can take away a 7. I don't know if I could take away a 9. So if I split this number bond, 7 plus 2 equals 9, I'm going to take away that 7 first. Okay, now I have to take away that 2 now. So I'm going to take that answer and take away 2, and you get 128. And if you add up the middle here, you should add up to this number.
Great. Now that you saw what I solved and you failed out your third method with one of mine that you just saw, we're going to go over some number sentences. There's a couple. Again, there's a couple with the question marks. There's a couple with the answer in the back, and there's a couple with the answer in the front. These are all the same number sentences. You just can put them into different ways. Just need to make sure that the equal sign is always with the 167, and the 128 is always being added to 39. Your answer was 128 cherries, and it was the farmer's son picked 128 cherries. So I will see you tomorrow, and great job today, ladies. Bye.